Does it ever seem like the people who seem to care the least are always the happiest and the most successful? Like, what is up with that? Perhaps it's because they practice detachment, and today I bring to you a Diva's Guide to Detachment. Hi friends, it's Caitlin and welcome back to the Floating Rock podcast. I hope you're having the most incredible day ever. Recently I participated in a podcast camp where the teacher, Kayla Rose, host of the Skinny Dipping podcast, talked a lot about detachment and how she has seen the most success and growth in her career during the times where she just created something, posted it, and then went on and lived her life. Usually doing higher vibrational things like hanging out with friends, taking dance classes, things like that. And I really took that to heart and have been trying to practice that a lot more ever since. I've really been trying to practice this as well with like the things I've been creating, because I feel like the more you detach from the outcome of your work, honestly, the better you create. And as I thought even more about it, I was like, wow, detachment is just so relevant in so many areas of life. And I wanted to come on here and talk about it a little bit. And by no means am I an expert in detachment, nor have I mastered it in the slightest. This is a live documentation of me processing it and inviting you to come and process it and learn and grow our skills with detachment together. So yeah, today I have 5 different thoughts / categories in life and ideas behind how we can be more detached and how that will lead to more success and honestly happiness. Number 1 is relationships. Coming in hot, hello. And this obviously encompasses all human relationships, right? Like not just the romantic ones. Basically, my thought was when you squeeze things too tightly, they tend to squirm. And it made me think about all different kinds of relationships in our life. Have you ever not seen a friend in a long time and then you hang out and it's like different and like kind of weird, maybe not in like the worst way ever, but it's different noticeably. And you get to choose whether you can accept, okay, we haven't seen each other in a while, we've lived our own lives, like I'm going to be at peace and detached with that, and then next time it's whatever. Or if you hold on to the expectation of what the hangout should have been, what the outcome should have been, how they should have showed up, how you should have showed up, and you feel a lot worse about it, I feel like that's a great time for detachment to come in. Another example is romantic relationships. If you want your partner to be such a certain way and you squeeze that too tightly, they will squirm, you will squirm. And realistically, like when you are detached from the outcomes of things and you just show up as yourself, you will always attract and repel the things that are and aren't meant for you. If you are with somebody romantically, a friend, even a family member that maybe you should be less close to, and by you being yourself, is actively repelling them and we can't come to an agreement, like that should be sign enough that maybe people need to go in separate directions. Or even when it comes to like family members, like I said, have you ever showed up to a family gathering and really hoped that a family member would treat you a certain way or say something certain to you, but because you're so attached and holding on so tightly to a certain outcome, you feel so disappointed after the fact. And like, honestly, that is everything in life. So I guess number 1 is thinking about detachment in your relationships. Maybe an affirmation could be like, let people be. Like, let people be themselves. And that is up to you and your choice. Number 1, how you react. And number 2, your relation and affiliation and relationship with that person. Just because maybe you were friends with somebody a long time ago, childhood friend, whatever, and you don't quite click like that anymore, that's not a bad thing. That doesn't make you a bad person. That doesn't make them a bad person. But it's the detachment and acceptance that maybe this isn't right for either of us that actually allows both of you to be happier and at peace and move forward with life. And honestly, a lot of the times, I will say, I feel like when you move with this detachment, it doesn't always mean movement away from people. Like relationships always ebb and flow. And sometimes I think if you add this level of detachment to outcomes, to certain people having to meet a certain standard, it actually allows people to breathe and grow on their own. And a lot of times that actually, maybe if it goes apart for a second, will bring people closer together in the end. Number 2, creatively. Oh, guys, like this is, I feel like one of the biggest places I'm trying to practice this in my life recently has been detachment creatively. I feel like when we create within these parameters that don't exist, we are limiting our creativity. Have you ever found yourself trying to make something that kind of fits in with the trends, trying to emanate other people, other styles, other things that you've been seeing, which once again, it's not bad. Like we love to take inspiration from people and like the market is the market, right? But I think we limit our creativity so much by thinking that what we see are the only options. Because also like the algorithm is good, but there's a million things that you also haven't seen, because I'm like, at this point, can you truly do something fully original? I don't know. I also don't think that's a bad thing because there's millions of things on the internet and millions of things in the world that it's not going to get to everybody. So the people that you reach with whatever you're creating, whatever you're doing, it will impact them. And possibly they haven't seen the other version that somebody else created that's quite similar. I feel like when it comes to me creatively recently, I've just been trying to hone more in on what I would want to listen to, what I would want to see, what I would actually like, what I would save, what I would send to somebody. And that is a process because honestly, like I have been a consumer for a long time, especially like now that I'm trying to do more social media. Oh my God. But I've been consuming that for so long that it's honestly really difficult to twist that and to take my own spin on it because it does just feel oversaturated and like people have done things and obviously you see this is performing well, I'm going to do that. But you know, sometimes I think you can be the next person that makes something good and makes something new and makes something different. I think also remembering that basically consumers move markets no matter what you're doing. Like it's the reader of the scientific report that you put out. It's obviously the shopper of the clothing brand you're putting out. It's the consumer of the content you're making. Like consumers are the ones that actually move things. And I could also make a point about that economically and politically, but we'll hold off on that because once again, I'm not perfect either. But remembering that you are actually a part of the mass that makes that shift and decides what is trending. Influencers, I would argue, maybe I'm wrong, I would argue that influencers and these famous people aren't the ones that make things to be trending. It's they do something and it's the consumers that all follow along that decide we all like this and now it's trending. So remember that you are a part of that mass and you actually have a very valid opinion and a very valid perspective on what is good work and what is good clothes and good art and good podcasts and good science and good whatever the hell you're doing. But just remember that you have a very valid perspective and that you actually know what good content is because you consume it all the time. You know, like you are a consumer and you have that power to also have an influence on what is trending and what is good. Number 3 is body image. We are all, I'm assuming most of us are girls here, and like, okay, not to leave the guys out, I'm sure you guys have had a journey with that. Body image is like an ongoing journey throughout life, honestly, especially like as a young girl in the age of social media. And like, honestly, here in Hawaii, like you grow up in swimsuits and bikinis and comparing your bodies to other people's like quite early on. That's all to say that detachment is so important when it comes to your own body image and like a fitness journey of sorts. Like I heard a quote recently that I really liked, and it was, "It is not your dream body if it's a nightmare to upkeep." And I so agreed with that. And I want to keep reminding myself that because I really do enjoy movement and I enjoy like going to the gym and going to Muay Thai and going to dance and on runs and on walks and whatever. And remembering that if it's ever getting to a point where it's like detrimental to me and my mental health to achieve this quote unquote dream body, like it's not the dream, girl. And then also I have this funny thing that I implemented in my senior year of college where I called it being body positive, and obviously that's not new, but usually it came out more with like outfits because like sometimes you wear a good outfit, but you know, our bodies fluctuate. You may have just eaten something that bloated you more than usual, like a million things. And I was living in a house with some girlies and you know, the U word was being thrown around, ugly. The F word was being thrown around too, fat, not the other F word. But we shouldn't be saying these things about ourselves. Like we really shouldn't. And so that led me to saying, if there was a day where I put on an outfit that felt, not the most flattering, but it's like, it's an outfit, I'm gonna fucking wear it. Just a body positive little outfit today. If you put on your bikini that normally snatches you up and looks great, and one day it's just not, you're just being body positive. Because with having that kind of mindset, even if it is under a comedic tone, your confidence is truly how people perceive you. Like, I mean, I don't fucking judge people's body types. I don't know. But like people judge you based on the vibe you give off. Like if you give off so much confidence, like no one's going to look and be like, oh, look at her back roll. Like the heck? But if they see this girl constantly like rubbing her back roll, being like, oh, I'm just like, people are going to notice the back roll. You know what I mean? Very nuanced, touchy subject. But yeah, practicing detachment with body image, I just think is a great thing. Obviously, like body neutrality, we just love it. Number 4 in the art of detachment, if you will, is going to be like detaching from negative feelings and like especially negative feelings for like let down expectations and outcomes. People are so fucking weird. Like humans are so weird. We love love to ruminate and we love to feel bad. Like, we love self-pity. We love to listen to sad songs when we're sad. Like, it's funny. But I made an episode about this recently about like emotional stuff. I can't remember what it's called, but like you'll see it. My face is like really close to the screen in the thumbnail. Negative feelings last a certain amount of time, and after that, it's just how much you ruminate on them. I believe, after I did a little bit of research and just kind of researched myself as well, it really is how much you ruminate on things, and it's what you do about these things. I feel like if we practice our daily ability to detach from negative feelings, from negative outcomes, to let down expectations, I feel like we will gain hours, maybe even days back to our lives of like feeling good. This weekend, I had a real bad feeling. I was not feeling good. And a few hours later, I was like, oh my God, I feel completely fine and normal again. Like, that is crazy. And it just reminded me that like feelings are always moving and fleeting. Unfortunately, the good ones are too, but like nothing has stayed forever. You know that. You bitch, you know that. Nothing has felt like forever, good or bad. So just remember that when it comes to these negative feelings, maybe like you're having a really hard time letting go of something or making a decision because you know it's gonna hurt. But just know like that hurt doesn't last forever. Like, it can't. And if you really so damn want it to, I guess you can try to make it hurt forever, but like that's fucking miserable, and I don't think you want to be miserable. For example, I was talking to my friend recently, and she was talking about how like a day with somebody like didn't go perfectly, or like as according to plan, as perfect as they thought it would be, and she was really grateful that they actually just kind of like took some silence, and she wasn't bummed out about it. She wasn't like dwelling on it for the rest of the day. And I really appreciate hearing that from her, because I think it's so often that things don't meet our expectations and then we just like dwell on it. But I think this art of detachment and being okay with things not being how we perfectly imagine them to be, like, I think that just makes life so much easier, and like I said, brings so much more happiness to your life. And lastly, I think when it comes to detachment, it's all about rewriting our internal dialogue. So I just thought I'd throw out some affirmations that kind of hit on a bunch of the different categories I talked about today, because honestly, like when I find I'm growing the most in a lot of things, especially detachment, it's what my brain is telling back to itself. If it's telling itself like that video flopped, like, you're a piece of shit. I'm so lucky that like my brain really doesn't work like that very often, but some people's does. It's your internal monologue and internal dialogue that kind of makes your whole life outlook and perspective. So I just thought I'd give you guys some affirmations, and hopefully it inspires some affirmations of your guys' own. So yeah, I hope it like inspires you guys to also come up with some new internal dialogues for yourself, so that we can all like have a better internal climate to live a more detached and happy and peaceful and successful life. So number 1, it is okay. They didn't act a certain way, things didn't go the way you thought, you feel bad about yourself, like, it is okay. And you know that. You know it's okay. Do not forget that. It is okay. Number 2, I don't chase, I attract. One of my favorite affirmations in the whole world that I always forget about, but I always come back to. I don't chase, I attract. You don't chase, you attract. Better opportunities, money, good people, great things in life. Like, you don't chase, you attract, because the right things are always coming for you. Number 3, when it comes to creativity, I'm going to create, I'm going to enjoy creating, and I'm not going to care about the outcome. Because you know that in your heart and soul, that when you create without expectations of the outcome and without comparison or anything like that, you create better. So I'm going to create, I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to care about the outcome. Number 4, on the body positivity note, I am confident and I love my body no matter what phase it's in. Because our bodies are always in phases. You're bloated one day, like, that does not define you, girl. Like, I love my body, I'm confident in my body no matter what phase it is in, because it keeps you moving and alive and healthy. And do not disrespect her. Number 5, it is not what happens to me, it is what I do about it. And you know, I know you know that you could put this in so many places in your life. It is not about what happens to you. It's what you do about it. Because we are alchemists. We create our own realities. Like, at the end of the day, that is the truth. Maybe some days you don't feel like a magician and you just wish you could just snap your fingers and make things a certain way. But it really is. It's how you react to things. It's what you do with what you have. Like, it is not what happens to you. It's what you do about it. Number 6, I'm open and comfortable with change. People change, places change, life changes, your health changes, your body changes. I am open and comfortable with change. And back to number 1, and that's okay. I am open and comfortable with change, because life is always changing, and the more comfortable you are with it, the better you'll be. And lastly, back to relationships, what they said / how they acted most of the time is not a reflection of me. Somebody said something weird to you, they acted weird, they acted mean, whatever. Like, most times everyone's living in their own world. What somebody says and how they act towards you is usually a projection of their internal world. What they said or did is not a reflection of you. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I liked it a lot. This is so much fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this inspired you to like remind yourself like, oh my God, detachment. Maybe you journal about it. Maybe you have some more conversations about it. Maybe you just ponder it today a little bit more in the shower, or maybe you use your internal dialogue to your advantage. And next time you're feeling something that you're holding on too tightly to, whether it's an expectation, a person, your body image, success, outcomes, whatever, literally whatever. When you find yourself doing that, I hope this episode reminded you that you have the power to be detached and to be at peace with your life, and that will lead you to be more happy and more successful. And I'm so excited for you to enter your detachment diva era, because we all want to be detached divas, don't we? Like, obviously care about things, duh, but internal detachment, you guys know. Okay, guys, follow the pod at floating.rock.podcast on Instagram and TikTok, subscribe on YouTube, follow and rate the show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I will love you forever. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.